So let's expand this window of conversation around the current PMI, and of course, as we keep one eye on the second quarter foreign trade report later today from the Statistics Office, as we try to find out what could be the guidance for investors in the equities space, and of course, another products associated with the stock markets. Michael Famaruti is the chief economist at Vetiva Capital Management. Is live to us from our studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Nice, bright and early. Michael, thanks for coming through. So let's just dive in straight. In terms of the PMI, you folks wrote a report yesterday on the PMI, on the side, the one released by the central bank, and it was titled "Economy Expands at Fastest Pace Since January." Give us the sweet side and the not so sweet side of this report.
Well, thank you, Boston. Just like you said, we pointed out that the PMI numbers were the strongest since January. So I think that's the sweet side. The not so sweet side, though, is when you look at the economy, whether it's the Q2 numbers that came out last week or the forecast for the rest of the year, there isn't much to cheer about, actually. So yes, we are sort of enthused by the positive PMI numbers, but we're yet to see that really translate into tangible growth in the economy.
Yes, again, but July was a toe in the water as far as the PMI was concerned. They had this strong comeback in the month of August. How did you think this happened? What do you think could have happened?
Well, so, I mean, I do think that with PMI, there is a bit of margin for error, right? So, but what struck me actually was that looking at both manufacturing and non-manufacturing sectors, the drivers seem to be new orders, right, which indicates sort of stronger demand. So I guess that's promising. At the same time, it's not too surprising as, yes, there are some issues with the economy in the next couple of months. One positive that we're looking forward to is for demand to be a bit stronger, particularly on the back of, fiscal policy through the budgets being spent, FAC, and, election spending is going to assist in that. So we do expect demand to sort of improve between now and the end of the year.
Well, not so good in that report, as you guys pointed out, was there's no noticeable change in exports. What does that say about our diversification drive?
Well, so it was really just us, pointing out that in the last 2-3 years, the PMI hasn't indicated any change. Again, trade is supposed to be out soon. The Q2, or at least the Q1 numbers, hadn't indicated any real change in Nigeria's export profile, right? So if you look at the data, right, and I'll be happy for anyone to disagree with me, but the data doesn't suggest that there's been much progress made in diversifying exports.
Yes, we haven't seen much progress. So, what times lies ahead?
We're looking forward to trade, but I think if you look at, or if you recall what I mentioned, there isn't much to cheer about in terms of between now and the end of the year. Election spending and fiscal policy should drive demand, but we are worried about inflation, and I think the MPC is going to be worried enough to maintain rates, and we are not particularly enthused by the RSS facility. It should have a bit of an impact on corporates, but don't think it's going to unlock credit like how the central bank is hoping it would.
So what do you think folks are doing right now around the world? Give us your guidance for equities investing for the month of September, the final month in the third quarter, that critical month, the bridge between the earlier part of the year and the final days of every year.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, the Nigerian market actually had quite a bad August. It was down 6% in the month. So far, the market is down 9% this year. We also saw much thinner volumes in August. I think average daily turnover was somewhere around 3 billion compared to 4 billion in July. So we saw generally tepid sentiment. September, we don't expect much change. I mean, what you should expect to see is a bit more profit taking. A number of stocks, especially the premium names, they look at reasonable prices, and people are probably going to be tempted to enter them, right? But the general market trend is going to persist, right? So September is when primaries kick off, and by the end of the month, we'll have more clarity on who the main contestants are going to be, and then people can really make their bets for post-election. So we can expect a bit of a quiet month while that happens.
Michael, if you have 50 million naira, will you be buying a presidential candidate form right now for a political position, or you will be buying stock markets?
I will be doing neither. I'm definitely not qualified as a presidential candidate, but yeah.
Now I'm trying to give you a shot in the dark. That was a friendly fire, by the way. But again, so if you look at the amount of money going around to buy political form for political positions from local government, what you call municipals level, local government, state government, House of Assembly, this runs into several millions of naira. Do you think maybe some of these folks will be selling down on their stocks position to pick up the form for political position 2019, which means politics is trumping in stock market investing? Maybe all these losses are monies politicians are taking out for those activities.
A lot of people look at these comments and disparage them a bit, but the reality is that the markets are cyclical. It depends on what's going on in society, right? So if you look at certain seasons, like in December, for example, in the early part or the end of November, we do sometimes see sell-offs because people are sort of taking money out for the festive period, right? So if, the size of, spending on election forms is significant, I don't think by itself it's going to depress the market, but it may have some effects on market turnover in terms of people that sort of are withdrawing money or are sort of looking at a political post as an alternative investment to the stock market.